comes as no surprise to drivers on Nashville's roads that traffic congestion is a growing problem. Nashville and surrounding regions have been growing faster than ever before. We are now at the point where home prices have risen sharply, and many people can no longer afford homes within the city. They have to move to the suburbs or surrounding regions. Owning a car becomes a necessity in order to commute to work. But coupled with that, now comes the high cost of parking it within the city. Unfortunately, many cannot afford this, and employers are losing their workforce. Transit systems are an investment for the future. They are the economic engine that provides jobs and reduces poverty. New office and residential buildings always build up around transit stops. The Transit Citizen Leadership Academy, sponsored by the Transit Alliance of Middle Tennessee, teaches that to make transit happen and get the necessary funding, referendums are held for people in the affected area. Therefore, the voters must be educated on the issues before they can decide to either approve or reject the referendum. So where do you start? At the top. The U.S. Congress established two cabinet-level departments, the Department of Transportation, or DOT, and the Department of Commerce, or DOC. Each of these departments has agencies that deal with transit. Under the Department of Transportation is the Federal Transit Administration, or FTA, which provides financial and technical assistance to local public transportation systems. Also under the DOT is the Federal Highways Administration, or FHWA, that ensures roads and transit work together. Under the Department of Commerce is the Economic Development Administration, or EDA. The EDA makes investments in the form of grants to the regional economic development agencies. Each of the two federal departments has requirements for approving requests for federal funding of transit. At the top of their lists is public and local government support, as demonstrated by a referendum. The other key requirement is a regional plan describing the population that will be served, the routes, and the transit technology to be employed. In addition, a detailed financial plan is required, showing capital investment, sources of capital, operating costs, and operating revenues. The Economic Development Administration deals directly with regional economic development agencies. The Greater Nashville Regional Council serves the 13 counties shown on this map. The GNRC is concerned with more than transit. It also helps with disaster relief, water, sewers, solid waste, housing, industrial development, and aging and disability. Both the Economic Development Administration and the Department of Transportation require each standard metropolitan statistical area in the country to have a Metropolitan Planning Organization, or MPO. The GNRC provides all modes of transportation planning for its region and works with local planning organizations, including the Nashville Metropolitan Planning Organization and the Clarksville Urbanized Area Metropolitan Planning Organization, which not only serves the Clarksville-Montgomery County area of Tennessee, but also a portion of southern Kentucky as well. Funding. Now let's return to the Federal Transit Administration. The FTA establishes the rules that enable $12 billion in annual federal funding for transit projects. In May 2016, the FTA published a final rule on transportation planning. The law requires projects to complete a series of steps over several years to be eligible for funding. These steps include project justification, local financial commitment, project planning, development, and engineering before construction can be funded. The Nashville Area MPO has the authority to plan, prioritize, and select transportation projects for federal funding through the FTA and FHWA. It is responsible for ensuring the region is in compliance with federal planning requirements and national ambient air quality standards. The Nashville Area MPO is governed by a large board of publicly elected representatives from Nashville-Davidson County and 6 surrounding counties, including all mayors. In addition, the board includes representatives from public transit, highways, GNRC, and the state. The FTA and FHWA representatives are non-voting. The MPO is funded by federal grant programs and by contributions from the Tennessee Department of Transportation and local government members. Over the past several years, the Nashville Area MPO has produced a forward-looking 2016 through 2040 regional transportation plan called Middle Tennessee Connected. The FTA requires these plans be submitted every 5 years. Who is going to operate the transit system? Experience from other regions shows that a regional transit authority should be established by state government. Currently, we have 2 main transit authorities, the Nashville City's Metropolitan Transit Authority, or MTA, and the state's Regional Transportation Authority, or RTA. The CEO of the MTA is also the CEO of the RTA under contract. Advances are being made to have a seamless jointly branded system where the divisions are invisible to the user. The MTA-RTA completed a regional strategic transportation plan in 2016 called In Motion, which covers the 10 counties in the MTA-RTA region. The Nashville Area Chamber of Commerce launched a private sector initiative in 2015 to engage community and business leaders in a review of the region's progress towards a vision for transit. 3 large committees worked for 2 years and dealt with revenue and finance, public engagement, and routes and modes. Their first report, issued in 2016, is called Moving Forward. This plan supports all components of the In Motion plan. Along with the Nashville Area Chamber, there are other groups that are advocates for transit. The first is the Transit Alliance of Middle Tennessee, which focuses on the education of private and public leaders in the region. Another advocate is the Tennessee Public Transportation Association, or TPTA. This is a statewide group dedicated to improving public transportation in all Tennessee communities. Among other projects, TPTA has set up a Tennessee Transit Coalition to recruit public support for transit via an online petition to the state government. Transit Now Nashville, a 501c3 organization, is a local grassroots organization whose mission is to raise awareness of the benefits of regional mass transit options for the people living in the greater Nashville area. Their focus is on the individual rider to make living with transit easier. Finally, there is the Nashville Civic Design Center, a nonprofit organization whose mission is to elevate the quality of Nashville's built environment and to promote public participation in the creation of a more beautiful and functional city for all. They have produced a book called Shaping the Healthy Community, the Nashville Plan. The book points out that Tennessee is the 42nd unhealthiest state in America. Access to health care is one of the major reasons, and improving public transit is one of the solutions. Another interesting health fact: riders on the Charlotte, North Carolina Lynx light rail transit system experienced a drop in body weight that researchers attribute to walking to and from the transit stops. In summary, improving our transit system requires a plan, a regional authority, a public referendum, advocates to educate voters on why transit is essential for regional growth and to approve the referendum, and implementation of the plan. Who will make it happen? Many players are involved, but it helps to think of them in 4 groups: the funders, the planners, the operators, and the advocates.